Moblogger. For the latest news and conflicts around the world, shaping your reality.
Today on West Coast Milblogger, Ace High Assad, South Korean Bluff, and Chinese Poker. I'm your host, Cyrus Emerson. Those reports in a moment. First, an exciting week at From A to Z. Our parent company now enrolled in 2025 NRDC Climate Storytelling Fellowship. If the screenplay of The Lords of Hemp finishes in the top 3, we win $20,000, plus coaching from Hollywood movie veterans to polish the script into a blockbuster summer film. For weeks, promises of new merchandise to celebrate the completion of the 105-page screenplay, a rough draft since 2008. Finally, there's new merch to fulfill appetites of a growing fandom. I'll show you the Lords of Hemp's new merch after these AI correspondent reports.
Ace High Assad. Share the fate of Syrian regime after non-stop rebel advances West Coast. Milblogger first reported on last week. It's being reported a funny-looking Assad arrived in Moscow, Russia, under asylum. This after rumors of a possible airplane crash with the dictator on board. This new Syrian defeat for the Kremlin, reminiscent of America's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Here on the west coast of the United States, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck. This led to evacuation warnings for anyone within a mile of coastline or below 100 feet above sea level, from southern Oregon to the Bay Area of California. Yet this might have been the horns bringing down the walls of Jericho. The ancient city is about a 4-hour drive from Damascus, Syria. Before last week, Assad's stronghold in the capital seemed impenetrable. His inherited grip on power in 2000 from his father, who had taken power all the way back in 1971. Even with human rights violations, including torture, murder, and chemical weapon use on his own people, Assad weathered a 13-year civil war, seemingly unfazed. All around, death and destruction, with so many factions fighting, it becomes impossible to explain accurately. In the end, this revolution saw Assad's troops removing their uniforms to don civilian clothes before raising arms to preserve their personal well-being. Now Turkey calls for an inclusive government to reward their behavior.
Make your opinion known in the comments section.
South Korean bluff. Explain why the possible coup attempted in South Korea might not be as bad as originally announced. At this time, President Yoon is safe from impeachment. Most observers have already forgotten Yoon was being threatened with impeachment for sending military personnel to Ukraine for the purpose of monitoring North Korean buildup on the front line. Complicated family ties exist between these two countries, now suffering from psychological effect of no reunification by Kim Jong-un. North Korean troops now actively involved in meat wave attacks taking place in Kursk, Russia, a region occupied by Ukrainian forces since the Summer Olympics wrapped. A 50,000-strong troop surge loyal to dictators melted away into body bags, paychecks pending. From a Western perspective, Syria's geographical location could be described as the gateway to Silk Road. Therefore, South Korea becomes the final destination. Much like Israel overkilling in Gaza and southern Lebanon, its now discovered F-35 aerial bombardments cleared boots on the ground, helping to prop up Assad and Russian military personnel in the area. This has led to their downfall in the Middle East. So too, South Korea continues to be a blessing, making waves as threats of a North Korean invasion are real. News this week from Asia also helped to alleviate the pressure cooker in Syria, distracting the Kremlin in hopes of a breakthrough elsewhere. In the end, South Korean civilians illustrated the difference between autocracy and democracy. Demonstrators took to the streets telling soldiers to leave parliament alone. This allowed a vote to lift martial law.
Make your opinion known in the comments section.
Chinese poker.
Tell West Coast Milblogger fans how the world's production leader plays its hand with all-in bets, forcing players to leave the table. China sits in a good position. Since World War II and with help from United States, the nation has quietly carved a spot at the top for world goods. At first, it was a novelty for Apple to slash production costs, getting cheap Chinese labor to assemble its first iPhones, taking the world by storm. As Apple reaped unprecedented profits, becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world, everyone expected new Western competitors. Yet, as this corporate America saga played out, it was the Chinese state reverse engineering high-end electronics and securing rare earth mineral rights, now putting a stranglehold on the global economy. Even the once envied Russian Empire now finds itself clinging to outdated nuclear weapons to protect themselves and other rogue nations. While Russia can keep using meat wave tactics for now, to replace a diminishing stockpile of heavy armor and aircraft, the largest nation in the world needs a miracle. Of course, China needs a big customer with skilled military specialists. The Chinese and Russian friendship without limits has been rushed due to situations on the ground. This masterstroke, now being analyzed by civilian bloggers before its hidden intention, could surprise Western politicians. Not to mention, recent oil and gold deposits found in China make Russian assets redundant. It can now be seen, the solution to climate change also helps create world stability. By using renewable hemp crop as the common denominator for advanced technology textile production, variables can still exist with plant breeding. Meanwhile, the old way sees top-secret semiconductor chip designs on the verge of being cracked by China.
From A to Z merch.
Now for the big reveal as we celebrate the possibility of winning the one screenplay contest that means the most to us because of its focus on environmental advocacy. Yes, The Lords of Hemp could be that movie you remember living in the background of your life. Those moments finally compiled into a silver screen premiere leading to climate change solution, or the sequel, Z-Dead. Now, every poker night, you can decide the fate of the world with a brand new deck of playing cards, the Lords of Hemp board, now available in our online store. We hope you enjoyed this episode of West Coast Milblogger. Remember to subscribe, like, and share on the many platforms the show is now available on. Keep it safe out there, and see you next week.